going to go ahead and do a panel. Whoever's speaking will be highlighted. And the panel is going to consist of Jose, Adam, and Robert Purcell. And then myself and Cammie and Greg. We have some questions for you. I'll start it off, but we have some questions for you. But first, what I want to do so everyone sees who you are is let's go the way I said, the order I said that. And I didn't do it in any particular order, but Jose, then Adam, then Robert. Can we have you jump on and just say a couple things? One, what you do now, if you still have a job, when you join the smart community, and where you are geographically. Jose, Adam, then Robert, please.
Hey, so I'm in West Virginia, really enjoying it. Beautiful, by God, West Virginia. I live near the Shenandoah River, and I love the outdoors. I retired from government service. I did 17 years as a defense contractor, and prior to that, I did almost 30 years as a United States Air Force, so I'm retired military. And so now I'm totally retired to where I'm devoting my time. I'm pivoting to something like Wicked Smart, and I'm really enjoying it. Also, I am a certified inspector, home inspector for 3 states of Virginia, West Virginia, and also Maryland.
Nice foundation that'll come in quite handy. Adam?
So yeah, I'm in Southern Illinois. My profession, I'm in real estate. I'm a realtor. I previously had a W-2 job, construction consultant for commercial roofs. And I've been a part of the community, man. I think it's been like 6 months or maybe a little more, something like that. So.
Awesome. I'm going to come back to kind of what level you guys are at and kind of why. And then I'm going to watch Ryan and I will watch the panel if participants have questions other than what Cammie and I and Greg have for you. Mr. Purcell.
Yep. I am in Michigan, Detroit area, and I joined as an associate at QLS 2020. So it's been just over a year and a quarter, whatever it is. And I, my job right now, I write software. So I have a 6-figure job right now, but I'm moments away from actually jumping ship, going full time here.
Yes. I noticed how you said right now, because it's almost over. Congrats. All right. So here's what I want to ask you guys each. And because of the format today, we can't see everybody at once. Robert, you might as well stay on, and I'll go backwards in the order. You upgraded. Yours was interesting. You upgraded, like, I don't know how quickly, like within a week or something, whatever it was. You can share that. But why did you upgrade? And then how many deals you got in the works right now? Because in the last 90 days, I think that has dramatically upticked. So just comment on the upgrade decision process in your deals right now.
Okay, yeah. As I just said, I joined as an associate right before the QLS event in 2020. As I'd gotten QLS, I think it was like February 19th. So I think, if I remember right, so about a year or two, I don't know, a couple of years, trying it on my own, on and off, not really getting traction. Finally figured out, like, somebody should help me, as I thought I could do it on my own, but and I could, but it was rough going. So best decision I ever made, because it was like almost instant change. But yeah, I joined right before QLS. Basically one day there was the associate day, and then I upgraded. So I was like, one day. I probably set the record for quickest upgrade, but
wait, so was that immersion and then you upgraded the next day? That's high 6,
right? I think it was
it was the quickest officially, yes.
Right. And mainly because I was pretty, when I do something, I want to be sure, like, okay, I'm in this, like, I'm committed. I don't want to, like, yeah, let me try it. So I was, putting that, financial commitment just to join, for one thing. I was committed, but I didn't know, I didn't know you guys, I didn't know the community, what it was like, but it didn't take long. I mean, that one day I was like, this is more than I even expected. Because especially to me, like, I don't know if people are getting it from this event, but my first reaction was like, there's no like rah fluff cheerleading kind of build you up and get you motivated. It was just real stuff that did stir you up and get you motivated, but it was real stuff. tremendous, and the results came after that, so it was an obvious great decision.
Do you know, and then I'm going to pivot and I'll come back to you. Do you know, you're on your second deal with Wicked Smart Finance now. Do you know, roughly speaking, your deals so far with the Wicked Smart Finance, your other ones, do you know what the 3 paydays total? I should have had you think about this, but do you know roughly what they total?
I think on the very low end, it's 200,000. So it's more than that. But in my mind, I just like to
At least
think
that.
conservatively. But yeah, altogether 200,000. But it's going to be more, I'm sure.
Imagine when you get serious. When
Yeah.
you get full time. That's awesome. No, awesome. And Robert and I talk a lot now because he's doing deals. We match effort for effort. Okay, let's go backwards to the order. Adam, same type of thing. You joined when, what level, and what was the process or the decision process why you upgraded? Because I think it's important for people to understand this.
So yeah, I originally did the QLS, and I wanted to touch on that real quick because I know in the beginning you were saying, does QLS have everything you need and all that? I actually got it taken with just QLS without even, before I even, joined. And I don't want to set the wrong expectations. Everyone's going to have, different paths, but to me, that's all I really needed to see, with all that, all the resources. And then when I saw the mod 11 with all, I was like, these people are crazy. I mean, they give you the whole playbook is right there. So, and I think I called Brian a few times, maybe more than I should have. I was like, hey, I got it taken, now what? So my next step for me was not the 90-day jumpstart. So I came in the community with it taken, and I leveraged my coaches, which was Steve and Lauren at the time, to kind of get me through that. So I definitely, you definitely can. All that information is in there. And I just was naive enough nobody really told me I couldn't do that. So, I just took action right away. But it was, I went from the QLS to the 90-day jumpstart, and now I'm an immersion level. So
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Congrats. Jose, same question. How long, what's this journey look like, and why did you upgrade? Decision process around that.
Yeah, I started as a 90-day, and I almost completed the 90-day. And I would have to say that I was not taking the program serious enough. Although it had all the tools, that was around the time frame I was focused also on getting my licenses for my practice as far as home inspection. And so I went from that period of time, 90-day, then I moved over to the associate. And in the associates is where I was really seeing, and I was doing still things like Steve Mernick was my coach at the time. And he challenged me, and so did Brian challenge me to get serious about, if you're going to do this, you really have to focus on dialing. And that's where Brian then, of course, challenged me to do 100 per week, 100 calls. And I made it serious because I was doing only between 5, 10, 15 calls, a week. And I turned it on because of the competition that Wicked Smart had. And that's where I devoted myself to focus and do 100 per week for 6 weeks in a row. And that made me then fully committed 100%. And that's what caused me then to move up to the immersion level, because that really convinced me that that's what I needed. I've been in the program a little bit over 8 months, but I feel that now I'm building that foundation. I've heard you say before, you can devote a whole year to just studying and not get a deal, okay? But I think that 2022 is going to be the year for me then to get those takes. On January 1, people like Zach was working with me through the QLS and getting a contract finished. I was able to then to present that contract on the 2nd of January. That really meant a lot to me because you've got people that truly care. And on the 2nd, I was with a customer in Baltimore presenting that contract. It was a $420,000 house. I couldn't have done it any other way. And I'm
Love it.
emotional about it because I see that I've got a team when you say locking arms, we truly are locking arms. And I just want to say that I really appreciate this team. And I know that my vision for 2022 now is totally different than it was 8 months ago. And that's
Awesome.
where I think I'm headed now. And I believe I'm headed that way. And I'm looking forward to being part. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll be, you say dream big. Someday I hope to be a high six.
Awesome. Awesome. Jose, congrats. And thanks for being so authentic with how you and candid with how you explain that, because this is not called the Rising Stars panel by accident. You're seeing new names emerge in the community. And I promise you, as I promised you a little bit earlier today, because of this community and great people like Jose and Adam and Robert and the coaches, you're going to see all new names emerging right from the screen, I hope, come Wicked Smart Summit. Okay, you guys, I want to ask you each for your biggest win and your biggest mistake in your 6 months, 9 months, year, whatever you've been in. So your biggest win, Jose, we'll start with you. It's harder, I know. I'm starting with you and going backwards. These guys have time to think. Biggest win, biggest mistake. We'll go right through each one of you guys.
The biggest win, I think, is when the light switch went on, and and Brian challenged me and Steve challenged me to do the calling.
Great.
Start the basic. That to me was the biggest win, because that flicked the switch and lit a fire under me to open my mind in the possibilities. Okay.
Love it.
Programs like, for instance, Dr. Amanda. I was going to be on her program, to train about a few weeks ago. Then they changed the schedule. But in that time frame, you had her on a mastermind where I heard her, and I immediately went out to the podcast that she had. She has over 200 podcasts, and I think I've listened to more than half of those.
I love it. That's awesome.
So you have the tools it's really helping me in seeing and building that foundation. So you said the win, and what was the other question on that?
Was there any mistake you can think of in your tenure so far with Smart Real Estate Coach? And it could be a mental, it could be a skill, like any mistake that you think you made and you might have learned from it, hopefully.
Okay. I think the mistake early was that I didn't commit the way I should have in taking the program seriously. And because I wish I had met this program 3 or 4 years ago, it would have saved me so much money in all the other programs that I took that didn't do anything for me, like this program has, that lit the fire. And I think I would have been a high six already then if I didn't have all those other programs. I wish I'd done it sooner.
Well said. It's sad how many calls I get weekly, Jose, that, and some of you are here and have had huge success, but people who have spent tens of thousands and a few 100,000 without doing a deal, because a lot of programs want to sell you a program. They don't want to help you do the deal, wrap their arms around you. So thank you. Adam, how about same thing for you?
Yeah, mine's pretty similar to Jose's. So my biggest win is just getting that clarity that in the structure that I've been really searching for a long time. Just that whole structure that the community provides, something, with a purpose, and just the overall the deal structures that we talk about. Like when I had coaching sessions with Steve and Lauren or Zach, I can go to them and lean on them with specific scenarios, and everyone in this community is authentic. I mean, they're not going to tell you something that they themselves haven't already done. And if they haven't done that, I've had specific scenarios where, Steve would be, he actually hasn't done it, but he would pivot to it. Everyone's accessible, go talk to this person. They've had this exact same situation in a deal or, scenario like that. So pretty similar, just that structure and clarity that I get. And then biggest mistake I would think kind of relates to this whole day has just been the mindset piece of it from the beginning. And that's just something that I really I'm grateful for this community, because I just wasn't in the right headspace, maybe some doubts and, fears that I'm sure everybody has. It's just great to, connect with like-minded people and have that to lean on. So.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. That was me, 08 to 12. the reason I scream to you guys all the time in the community is to get around people on the stream team is because I didn't think of it 08 to 12, and it was a painful 4 years. Instead of just reaching out and just immersing myself and wrap my arms and letting them wrap their arms around me, I didn't have that. So I love it that you guys are able to do that. Robert, same question, and you had more time, so.
Yeah, which I needed, because actually the biggest mistake, it's hard for me because I just somehow I've built into myself like this, learn from mistakes and, and grow from it. So I don't see them as really bad things, but still, I'd say the biggest mistakes are the little things, the stupid little things, like staying up too late. I still do that. And so now I wake up later than I wanted to, and I'm sleepy and dragging through that first morning, eating junk, it messes with your head. Those stupid things and just make big results in the wrong way. So I'm still doing that. I gotta clean that up more.
Okay, but you just publicly, this is why I love always when you talk, you just publicly put it out there for people to help you, hold you accountable to accomplish that. So thanks for the candor. How about your biggest win?
Yeah. Biggest win of the year was came out of this contest, which we mentioned a few times, and Jose was talking about it. So for the people that aren't aware, briefly, we had the whole community had the contest pretty much the last quarter of the year, based on your actions and results and stuff. And like halfway through that, about mid-November, like Jose said, the switch flipped, and I had that same moment where it's like, why am I not really doing this? I'm really not all in. I'm committed, but I'm only to here when my level was really up here. Why am I not there? So I said, there's no reason. And so here I go. And so much came out of that just from personal growth of like, hey, look at what all I can do. Look at what all I can fit in a day. I mean, at one point I had a goal of, you're talking about 100 dials a week. And I was like, okay, think bigger. And I did 100 dials on a Monday. And then, so that was my biggest week of dials. But yeah, so that really changed my thinking and going forward. That was the biggest win the whole year for me.
Okay, no surprise that you guys all mentioned the contest, because the contest provoked dialing, and when you dial, deals come. What I tell, if you're new to this whole conversation, what I tell people 9-6 is, go dial. Don't do anything else. Just go dial, make a mess, and come back. Stir up the pot. Come back. We'll show you how to get the deal done. You guys just reminded me that I think, I'm 99% sure we're going to announce the contest winner at the end of the day.
Yes, we are.
All right. Awesome. So, Greg and Cammie, do you have a burning question? Because although I said you could ask, I asked. Sorry about that. Do you have a question you want to ask these guys? We got literally a minute or two.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've asked a lot that I had on my mind, but I guess my other question would be, is there something that you would say to anyone that would come up to you and say, really, is this really for real? I mean, what would you say to them?
Good question.
Unity.
Jose, you want to go first?
Yeah, Jose.
Okay, I guess I would say to them, if you're sitting on the fence and you're looking for something to do, get off the fence and start taking action, because I was one of those sitting on the fence, and I had to basically convince myself to fully commit 100%. Okay, and it's an association with Wicked Smart. They give so many different opportunities, not only the mentorship, and not only the tools, but also the guidance as you're going along. And I could honestly say that with all the other stuff that I had, I don't think that I had that feeling. I really feel the closeness to the team, and that's been a real great plus for me.
Cool. Right on. Adam?
Yeah, so this is a community of high achievers, high performers, and I don't know if it's just a personality thing for me. I still don't even feel like I'm firing on all cylinders. And the fact that, I'm getting deals, it just proves the system. If you implement even half or a portion of what the system or what Brian teaches, or, any of you guys, you're going to get deals, because it's just the system works. Like I said, it's I don't even feel like I'm getting deals, and I don't feel like I'm, all the way, everything hasn't worked out yet. So it just proves to the system.
Right on. Love it. Robert?
Yeah, that's always hard, because it seems like when we talk about, a lot of what you hear tonight, and even just from us, seems like, oh, it's so great. It almost seems like not real. And I get it. And somebody just in the breakout session, somebody was chatting with me, asking me some questions, and I don't know, it's tough. But if people that know me, they know I'm not one for hyperbole, like ever. Like I don't say things like no one would ever do or ask anyone, because I know it's like, well, okay, there's going to be somebody who fight, so I just don't say those things. I'm careful with my words. So it's, but so I don't know how to sometimes talk about this without people wondering, questioning if I'm being real. But it's, I mean, I don't know. It's all what these people have said, what you've heard. It's all that. And it sounds unreal, then okay, fine, but that's what it is. Uh, and if I even because I was questioning one of my replies, like I talked about, somebody was asking me in chat, and I said something like, "Yeah, I don't think I would have gotten those deals without the coaching." And right when I sent that, I was like, "That's not even right." But I wasn't comfortable saying, "I know I would not have gotten those deals," but I know that's true. I would not have gotten those deals without being part of this. If I was doing it on my own, it just would not have happened. So, what more can you say?
Love it. All right, Kimmy and Greg, thank you. Jose, Robert, Adam, thank you.